So let's take a look at some of the news diary stories we'll be tracking. Minister in the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security those ministers will today hold a briefing to further unpack amendments to the current lockdown restrictions as announced by the President.
Power utility Eskom says it's going to implement stage 1 load shedding. That'll start from 9 o'clock this morning.
And just a recap on those numbers again. The cumulative number of confirmed COVID-19 cases this morning, 298,292. And the number of deaths now stands at 4,346. There's a total of 146,279 people who have recovered from COVID-19, which brings the total number of active cases to 146,667.
All right, there are those numbers again, 0800 029 999. It's a 24-hour hotline. The WhatsApp service from government, 0600 123 456.
Right, a provincial breakdown, the Western Cape, 80,199 cases. Gauteng leading the pack there with 107,070 positive COVID-19 cases. KwaZulu-Natal has 30,587. Eastern Cape, 53,959. The Free State, 5,973. Limpopo, 3,458. 4,576 people testing positive in Mpumalanga. In the Northwest Province, 10,784, and the Northern Cape, 1,579. And then just a total number of tests conducted, Leanne, over 2,232,787.
Indeed, and then we look at the confirmed cases that have been reported to date in South Africa. That's the one way of putting it. I think the best way of putting it, and that's 298,292. Now, of those confirmed cases right now, the active cases are 147,667. The recoveries, as you do the maths, 146,279. Now, the death toll in South Africa, unfortunately, sitting at 4,346, and new cases reported yesterday, 10,496. We break it down a bit more into the provinces. I'll just take the increases per province, Sakina. Perhaps you can talk us through the rest. So still, Gauteng is recording the highest infections, 3,357. You can see that KwaZulu-Natal is also recording high infections, 3,200. The Eastern Cape is at 1,901. Those are the new infections there. The Western Cape, though, looking a lot better. It's still not good, but it's a lot better. I mean, you'll remember that they, of course, have been bearing the brunt in terms of the infections. Now they've got 855 new cases, but, you know, the death toll is still high in the Western Cape, unfortunately. And then the rest of our provinces, 259 in the Northwest, Limpopo 142, Mpumalanga 277, 341 in the Free State, and the Northern Cape is now recorded 57 new cases.
And as I always say, Leanne, just important to point out, the increase column speaks to the last 24 hours, the numbers that have been recorded. The death toll, though, in this particular graphic is the overall number of deaths in total. So looking at the Western Cape, still leading there on 2,429 deaths. Gauteng has recorded 726, Eastern Cape 729, KwaZulu-Natal 313, 36 deaths in the Northwest Province, 33 in Limpopo, Mpumalanga also 33, Free State 35, and we see that number growing now in the Northern Cape. They were stuck on one death for a long time, but they recorded 14 more, so 15 deaths in the Northern Cape. And the recoveries column equally important because this shows that, you know, people are getting infected, but they are indeed recovering from the virus. And here's that 7-day graph as we track this for you in terms of numbers, recoveries, deaths, and of course new cases.
All right, let's move into the global statistics at this point in time. We can see now that there are 13.2 million confirmed cases worldwide. The recovery of that, 7.3 million. And just yesterday, 216,000 cases were added to the tally of full cases. The death toll is now at 575,000 cases. Deaths, I beg your pardon, that's more than 5,000 up from yesterday. I just want to point out to you, you know, every single morning when I open up this global picture, South Africa is creeping higher and higher up the rankings in terms of confirmed cases. And this is something we need to watch. I don't know about you, Sakina, and anybody else that's watching. I didn't think we'd be entering into the top 10. I didn't think we'd overtake the UK. Well, I didn't think we'd be sitting at the 8th highest cases in the world, and that's where we are this morning, unfortunately. So right now, we are actually just, you see it ends at Peru there, that you're looking at the United States, Brazil, India, Russia, Peru. If we go a little bit further, it's Chile with 319,000 cases. That's how many they have got. Underneath that, it then goes down to, wouldn't that be just typical of me to lose it at this point in time? But I've got it back up. Peru, then it's Chile, Mexico, and then South Africa. So that's where we are sitting with our confirmed cases of 298,000. We moved past the UK yesterday with the infection rate. So our numbers are not looking good. It is a fact.
Indeed. Right, let's take a look at those trending topics very briefly. Hashtag SATU first up. And of course, that announcement yesterday, SATU coming out and saying they are tired of sending messages of condolences to their members. And they believe that at this point, perhaps the best thing to do would be to close schools once again. And they are, of course, the largest teacher union in the country. I think they have just over 250,000 members out of, I think, just over 400,000 teachers overall in the country, Leanne. So they do make up a sizable chunk of the teaching population. And this, of course, is what is leading, and the minister will be meeting with SATU and other teacher unions this morning to forge a way forward here.
All right, the other trending topic is Gwede Mantashe, of course, testing positive. It was confirmed yesterday, him and his wife. I know I'm sure I've got that in the news headlines, and we wish him a speedy recovery, as well as every other individual that has COVID at this time. And this is just another minister, unfortunately, that has COVID. But please, we're just hoping that he does stay healthy along with everybody else as well. And then the final trending topic is chocolate log. And you laughed at me this morning, you did, because when I went to bed last night, this was the one thing that was trending, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. They're not making chocolate log anymore. They've stopped making it. You didn't understand my pain. My pain was real. It is real. It's a beautiful chocolate, and not just to eat as a whole, but to deconstruct. You got to eat the outside, then you got to have the white in the middle, and then you got to have the wafer biscuit. And you thought I'm crazy.
I still think so, Leah.
Am I the only person that deconstructs chocolates? I mean, a crunchy, when you eat the outside and then you got the honeycomb that you suck and eat and enjoy, and come on, Sakina.
Why would you deconstruct it? Why don't you just bite through it and eat it? And guys, you don't understand. She was talking me through how you eat a peppermint crisp. Leanne deconstructs everything.
You mean
I'm shocked.
Sakina, how have you never ever cut the bottom of a peppermint crisp and the top and put it in a cup of milk and suck the milk through it? And then you have that beautiful peppermint chocolatey, milky flavor. You've never done that?
No.
Help me, Twitter. Help me, please, viewers, please. I am not the only person in the world that has deconstructed chocolates. I know you have more important things to talk about, like the news headlines, Sakina, so let's just stop it right here.
Rest in peace, chocolate log.
Damn. All right, what am I going to deconstruct? I'll find something else, don't worry. All right, let's get into those headlines.